I was asked the other day, what's the ceiling for the Giants? How would you answer that?
This year or
Yeah.
the ceiling?
What is the ceiling
for the Giants?
2023 San Francisco Giants.
I would say one playoff series win is the ceiling.
One series win.
Yeah.
Not one game win.
No, and I believe that the
Second
wild
round.
card is now a series. It's not just the one piece anymore.
That's correct.
So they might win one of those hokey
Three-game
best
series.
of three.
Three-game series, all games at home of the division winner.
Which, I mean, really doesn't matter in my opinion. The Giants are about as good on the road as they are at home now after this sweep in Colorado. I don't know if baseball has, if I was to rank the home field advantages of the big three, I would put baseball third of the big three.
I agree with that. Absolutely, I agree with that.
So can the Giants be a wild card and win a series in which all three games are on the road? Yeah. Then they'll go up against one of the real big boys in the National League, and I'm out. Then they're out. Because 6 teams get in now, right? 6 in the National, 6 in the American?
Correct.
That's right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Who are the big boys in the National League? Who are you giving that? Because I know who you probably are thinking.
Well, the Dodgers, certainly.
Okay.
And I know right now, record-wise, they're not.
Yeah, they're in second place, but they have a solid record, 36 and 27. Not an overwhelming record, but sure, they're a big boy. And I'm sure you'd say the Braves.
Yep.
The Braves who have the best record in the National League.
Yeah.
Who else?
That's it.
That's it.
That's probably it. And
right.
those two teams, I think, will get the buys because we got to have buys now in professional sports playoffs.
Sure. Well, if you're going to have 6 playoff teams, you better have buys or else you're going to have a problem.
You're going to wind up with 3.
You're going to end up with 3 teams.
You can do a round robin, which would be cool, actually.
Everybody play in the parking lot to see which 2 teams get to go inside and play a baseball game.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
A little sandlot activity.
Yeah. Who knows? A few years from now, it might
if
be that.
You want to look at the other teams, I'm not sold on the Marlins. The Mets, I think, will be a wild card team, but they don't scare me too much. The Pirates are fading. No one else in the Central. I'm still not sold on the Diamondbacks. I know they're better, and they're a good little plucky team.
They are plucky.
Honestly, the Dodgers and the Braves would be the 2 big boys I would look at.
The Diamondbacks are totally baseball's Sacramento Kings.
I was just going to say,
They really are. They are.
They're pretty adorbs
no,
right
they
now.
are. Wait till they come here next week. You'll see how cute they are. They're so cute. They're so Diamondbacky. They got a different color uniform every single day.
Sure.
It's fun.
Running around, winning 2 of every 3.
Cruising around. Nobody can name anybody on the team.
They've won 8 of 10.
Yeah.
Good little club.
They are. They are.
They're fun.
They try. They try in the regular season. Hey, I'll try. I got a fun game. Are you looking at the standings? Put the standings away.
Okay.
Put them away.
I just put them away.
Put them away.
They're away.
Randy, let's go, game show music. Did you know that there are only 2 teams in the National League outside of the NL West with a positive run differential?
Oh, boy.
Only 2. In the East and Central combined, there are only 2 teams with a positive run differential.
2 teams outside
Can you name
the
them?
West. Well, the Braves would be one. I'm going to say the Braves.
Atlanta Braves plus 67. That is correct.
Now's where it gets a little tough because the Pirates are leading the Central, but they're darn near 500.
It's also incorrect. The Pirates are in second place, but go ahead.
Oh, my fault. That's right. They're fading badly in the Central.
Game behind the Milwaukee
That's
Brewers.
right. And Milwaukee would be a possible guest, or I feel like there's a tricky element to this question, so I'm going to say the Mets, Mark.
Okay.
The Mets.
The New York Metropolitans at 30 and 32 this year are a negative 16 run differential. Boy, you're not kidding that there was a tricky aspect to this. Do you know that the only other team that has a positive run differential is the team with actually the worst record of all of the teams in those 2 divisions? Now, actually, they're tied sort of with the Washington Nationals in terms of their record. The St. Louis Cardinals at 26 and 37 are +1.
Oh, God.
Everybody else is negative.
He doesn't get the ding. It's his question. He's looking at it.
I absolutely get the ding. God. That's Grandy's way of being like, that was a great game. Great job, Mark.
Just a little confirmation sensation from me.
That's a buck, and you're going to have to pay that one, Grant.
He wanted to give me the ding so badly that he decided to pay for it. How about that?
Exactly.
He paid for it. The Miami Marlins are the quirkiest ones out there with a negative 24 run differential, yet 35-28, 7 games over 500. And then the quirky on the other end is the Padres, who are plus 16, yet 4 games under 500. So the NL West, by certain metrics, by far and away the best division in the National League so far this year.
Yeah, the metric of plus minus, certainly. And if you look at that division right now, Diamondbacks over the Dodgers, over the Giants, over the Padres, I think you could look at 3 of those 4 coming out of there, and you could say that Arizona might not be one of them. And maybe that's just me hating on a team that's won 60% of its games.
No, I'm gonna believe in the Diamondbacks. I am. This is gonna be difficult for the Giants to go grab a wild card. Although I certainly think that they're gonna have the opportunity to do it. But like all 4 of those teams, I think are solid teams. I would predict right now that all 4 end up north of 500. All 4 of them.
Yeah.
Will be better than 500 at the end of the year.
And you would say 3 of them then would make the playoffs because 85 wins is probably going to be good enough to get you the wild card.
With the unbalanced schedule, this would be very odd, but it's possible with the the balanced schedule, I should say, that all 4 of them go. You could have all 3 wild cards be from one division. Normally, that would be much harder with them playing one another 18 or 19 times because they're going to knock each other down. But we're not doing that as much this year, right? If you're going to play the Reds as much as you're going to play the Dodgers almost, well, then why not? Why not have all the wild card teams be from one division?
Yeah, it's more possible.
It's possible. I have a hard time believing, just based on their finances, that the Mets are going to be this bad for this long. But they've lost 5 in a row, and they're 2 games under 500 now. They've got to get it going on some level, right? So
yeah,
they'll be in the conversation. The Marlins, I would predict that's not going to last. Probably true for the Pirates as well. I don't know. Like, if just a prediction, if I were to throw it out there right now, I would say division winners will be the Brewers, the Braves, and the Dodgers, and I'll give wild cards to the Mets, D-backs, and Giants. That's what I would say is they're going to be their ceiling this year.
I'm looking at the odds as it sits right now. According to DraftKings, Dodgers minus 275 to win the NL West, followed by the Diamondbacks plus 450. The Padres at plus 700.
Oh, of course.
The Giants at plus 1,300. The Rockies are plus 50,000, which is 500 to 1 to win the NL West. So based on those odds, I would have to extrapolate and say that the Padres and Diamondbacks probably have better wild card odds than the Giants as well.
Well, the Padres have a big, huge, high-priced, big-name team. And they have been wildly disappointing so far this year. They've been very disappointing.
Yeah, but again, to your plus minus that you rolled out, they are better in the plus minus than the Giants at plus 16 and the Giants plus 10.
Yeah, it's almost nominal, but you look at them with
4 games below 500.
With their lineup, you wonder why they've only scored more runs than one other National League team. That's it. And by the way, it's the Marlins, who are good for some reason. Oddly, they've won 6 in a row. But they've been super disappointing. They've been super disappointing.
Yeah. And it's interesting because we're at a point now, 62 games in, we're not quite at the halfway point, but we're well past a third. So you can actually look at these teams now and make actual judgments.
We're getting there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's what I would say is exciting as far as the Giants are concerned. If you really boil down what fans have been waiting for, you always want your team to be good. And the Giants 2 years ago were, and then last year they weren't. So it's not like it's been some long period of losing. I don't think the impatience has to do with that. The impatience has to do with what I would call having nothing to sink your teeth into. Giants fans just want something. They want to know who the people are. Unless you're a diehard, like it's been clear to you and me, because, Dan Dibley, when I think of diehard Giants fans, I think of Dan Dibley. But you know
It's
what
a
I mean?
fact.
Well, I mean,
I'm a Giants fan.
we can go over to the game this weekend, and we're like, yeah, I know all the players. I could do that last year. But the casual fan that buys tickets when the kids get out of school this weekend honestly would show up at the ballpark last year and be like, I don't know who these people are. And you're like, yeah, because they just acquired them from the Mariners at 1 o'clock. And they got them on a plane, and here they are, and they're in the lineup. Of course you don't know who they are. I think we're coming out of that, aren't we? Do you see it?
I do see it.
Do you see the and who's in that nucleus?
Well, this is the interesting part, because in order to come out of that, you need to have a nucleus that is, let's just say, half your team.
Okay.
If you can look at a 25-man roster, 26, whatever you want to look at, if you can look at half the players on there and tell me that that player will be a Giants in 2 to 3 years, and obviously not completely definitively, because Farhan likes to make moves and trades happen.
Always.
Schmidt happens. We know all that stuff and beyond. But if you can look at a roster and go through it and go, yeah, that guy's a cornerstone.
See, it's not there yet, but don't you feel like it's getting there? Here's what I mean.
And I wonder if you can't come up with 12 guys.
Okay, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on Twitch, YouTube, and the free Odyssey app. Pitching staff. Logan Webb.
Oh, he's here.
Camilo Doval.
He's here.
And I actually would probably, if I had to give you more names right now, I would give you the Rogers brothers.
I'm going to give you one Rogers brother.
I only get one?
You only get one.
Why?
Because
I want both.
Well, you can't have them both. I'm going to give you a half for each, because Taylor is signed for 2 more years at 12 apiece. Then he's a free agent. And what we've known from Farhan Zaidi is he doesn't like to sink a lot of money on free agent pitchers. Now, Logan Webb was not a free agent pitcher, and he got burned by Minaya and Stripling. Mm-hmm. Those were free agent pitchers that he inked. He gave Gosman one and gone, and Carlos Rodon the same treatment. So I'm not giving you Taylor Rogers. I'm going to give you Tyler.
No, but Taylor's,
because he is Arb.
No, but yeah, Taylor. They're both under control for 2 more years after this year.
Right.
They're both under team control for 2 more years after this year.
Tyler is for 2 more arbitration years.
Tyler's got ARB 2 and ARB 3. Taylor signed a 3-year contract.
Right. I'm going to give you one Rogers.
Well, I'm taking both because they're both.
Then the bit's over.
No, it's not. They're going to be here.
I'm done with this bit. You don't know that they're going to be here.
Well, they can be traded.
That's my point.
But so
you're not trading Logan Webb, though.
How do you know?
You're not trading Camilo Doval. So that, to me, is the nature of this bit.
Well,
Farhan Zaidi might deal one of the Rogers. And
I doubt
what's Tyler going to get in arbitration?
Well, not
$4 million?
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah, so of course he'll be here then.
Yeah, well, Taylor's pitching phenomenally.
I don't want this to get bogged down in Rogers's, but I'm giving you one.
All right,
you can take them both all you want.
Okay, so you asked if I could get to 12.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you get to 12 with one Rogers?
I didn't know the rule was that you could bat them back and be like, no, you're not allowed to have them.
I thought we were having a conversation.
Of course we are.
And I'm a Giants fan, so are you. It's a couple of Giants fans chopping it up.
Patrick Bailey.
I'm going to give you Patrick Bailey.
Okay.
Even though he might be a AAA guy, I think that he's here to stay.
Lamont Wade.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, Lamont Wade.
He's an ARB guy.
Right.
He's going to make a ton of money the way he's playing, but I think they'll pay for him. I think he stays.
But, I mean, how many more years before?
He's got 2 ARBs.
2 more?
He's got 2 more ARBs. He's making 1.38.
Yeah, so
next year he's going to make about 12 with the year he's having.
Oh, that's way too big of a jump. I don't think it'll be that big.
He might be an all-star this year.
Yeah, but it doesn't. You don't get a.
If you hit 30 home runs, then Lamont says, "Give me 15," and then the arbitrator comes.
That'd be interesting. I think that's a little bit of a leap, but it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it's super affordable.
Yep,
it's affordable. So Lamont Wade he's going to be a Giants for at least 2 more years after this.
So how many are we
one.
at right now? 6?
Well, no.
And you haven't even gotten to Casey Schmidt.
If you're giving me both the Rogers, then
you're
yes.
begging for both the Rogers,
okay,
so you get them both.
All right.
I'm not going to fight with you on the best day of the week.
Tyro Estrada.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got 3 ARBs.
Okay.
Oh, that's a Farhan wet dream right there.
Schmidt happens.
Of course.
Okay.
Hopefully it keeps happening.
So there's that one.
You're at 8, I think.
How about, I mean, Haniger's got 2 more years.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got 1 more year.
I know it hasn't popped yet.
He's got 20 and then a player option.
Oh, it was a player option?
25. So I'm not going to give you Haniger.
He's probably going to take that option. Now,
if he plays poorly, he will.
Now, here's the other part. We're going to have to, because we're only a certain point in the process, you got to grab some people who aren't even here yet, right? I mean,
I'm surprised you didn't ask for Yaz, because he's got 2 more arbs.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
Well, I thought before we went to the farm that you would...
No, I'm setting the table that I'm getting close to bringing up people who have not even debuted in the majors yet.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Going to be less likely to give you those guys.
Okay, all right. Then I'll take Yaz.
You got Yaz.
I'll take Yaz, and then I'm gonna ask for Kyle Harrison.
It works better this way.
I'm gonna ask for
Kyle Harrison. I'm
gonna
give you Kyle Harrison,
okay?
Because I think that he is close enough, and they love him enough, and he's good enough. I'm giving you Kyle Harrison.
Some of these guys may not end up being a part of the crew. My point is that there's a crew. There's a
core. Yeah.
There's a crew developing. There is a group where you're like, oh, that's our Giants. Even when you're good, you're always going to have randoms. How many people who are like, I'm a huge Giants fan? You're like, okay, tell me about Ryan Terrio. And you'd be like, tell me what he did that was amazing for the Giants.
Good glove at second.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know that he scored one of the most important runs in the history of the team? There's always going to be randoms. So you're not going to get 25 core players.
That's why I think 12 is a good number.
12, if you can get 12, that's amazing. I don't know if the Dodgers have 12. The Dodgers and Padres probably have somewhere near 12.
Core guys?
Yeah, guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably more than that, but
maybe.
The Padres have inked so many guys to these monster deals that
they got
them.
like 7 of them. They got 7 of them.
Right.
But even some of them, is Blake Snell a core guy? No, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone.
Yeah.
This isn't just are you good?
Are you going to be here? Yeah.
I wonder about someone like J.D. Davis. What's going on with his?
I was waiting for J.D. Davis.
Yeah, what's going on with him?
One more arb, and then he's a free agent.
So he's got another arb.
So I'm not going to say that he's a core guy.
No, but he's around. He's going to be around for a little while longer, right?
And David VR is a more interesting case to me because he's got 2 pre-arbs and then 3 arbs. So even if he's not great, he's a part of the core just because. I control you, David.
Yeah, but he may not even come up. If he can't produce, he's not going to be up here. He's not going to stay. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to use the name Elliot Ramos.
Thank you.
I don't think he's going to make it.
Man.
I don't think he's going to make it. I know everybody's been high on him. How many times Ramos and Bart? And
I appreciate you not going to Joey Bart either.
I'm not going to Joey Bart. I think Patrick Bailey is going to be their catcher. I think that Farhan Zaidi drafted Patrick Bailey to be their catcher. And here he is.
He's their catcher.
Then he's probably going to stay.
That and Sable.
Guy's running around doing safety squeezes for crying out loud.
Incredible.
How many safety squeezes does Bart have in his 4 years?
I'd have to look that up, but probably not many.
Can I have Matos? What about Luis Matos?
This is where it gets interesting.
It starts to get a little fuzzy.
Because, Matos has yet to debut, right, in Major League Baseball?
Correct.
And we don't know if he's going to be a classic Farhan 4A player. So I'm reluctant to give you Matos because he hasn't come up. But boy, his AAA numbers. I'll give you Matos because I think that you're going to get a chance to see him this year. And if he goes the way of the Joey Bart and appears to be a 4A player, then I'll have egg on my face. But I'm willing to give you Matos.
I appreciate that. Thank you for giving me.
I'm trying here, Mark.
Thank you for giving me Matos.
Trying to get you there.
I really appreciate it. Where's he at? Month of June. Oh man, he's still. It quieted down.
Cooling off.
Well, no. Remember, he had 3 hits a night for 4 straight nights. He was having 3 hits a night. That was back right on, let's see, May 30th, 3 hits. May 31st, 3 hits. 4 hits on June 1st. 2 hits on June 2nd. 3 hits on June 3rd. And then he only had 1 hit on June 4th.
Cooling off.
No hits on June 6th.
Bust.
And then he came back with 2 more hits.
Attaboy.
Last night. He's still hitting 400 for the month of June.
Okay.
At AAA.
I'll give him to you, but I'm going to caution you.
Matos.
I'm going to caution you about going any further down on the farm because we're getting down near the petting zoo portion of the roster.
Well, I mean, look, I could start projecting way too far out and say that I would like Luciano to be a part of this conversation, but he's not there yet.
No.
He's not there yet.
He may not make it.
He may not. I mean,
he's super his stock
young. He's super young,
dipping.
But he's the same age as Matos, and Matos is starting to fly.
Luciano's not.
Not yet.
Injury issues in multiple years and struggles. So I'm not giving you Luciano.
Well, that's fine. The point is in that, like that group that we're talking about, can I get to 12? The answer is probably no.
You're close.
No. But, like, do you see it? Do you see it? Do you feel it? Does that give you some sort of a different kind of a vibe or an experience?
A little bit.
As a fan.
It does.
I feel like that's what we've been asking for. We've wanted it to come in the form of money, but to be honest with you, this is actually better. You just don't know if you actually get it. That's the thing.
It's better, but I'm looking at that list, and I'm not seeing more than 2 or maybe 3 of these players where I go, wow, that's a homegrown star. I'm giving you Camilo Duvall. We talked during the break. He's probably is an all-star. He might be the best closer in baseball, you were saying, and tough to dispute that. Logan Webb, not a star, but a good, solid pitcher, and he's earned every penny that he's going to get.
And he's signed up. Yeah,
Beyond that, though, Schmidt and Bailey, these aren't stars. These aren't like, this is not Buster Posey. This is not Tim Lincecum.
Probably
these are good, regular players in the majors.
We don't know. I don't know where it's going to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe Casey Schmidt is going to be a star. I don't know. I mean, if he wants to hit north of 300 for the rest of his life with his defense,
well, then
he's going to be a star.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's going to do that, but you know, they're allowed to become stars. I get that. You know, I mean, Bailey, the 13th overall pick in the draft.
Sure,
it's supposed to be a big deal.
Yeah.
So you know, here he is. But if you can find those things without having to pay for it, that's even better. And I think in general, teams, it feels so much better when you do augment with the big money person.
Yes.
When you have this stuff already here. So again, just because that's the crown jewel, if you're to go sign Shohei Ohtani in the offseason, and that falls into, well, we also got all these guys, right? We got Estrada and Schmidt up the middle. Lamont's going to be over at first. Right? What's going on in the outfield? Okay. Haniger's in left, Matos is in center, Yaz is in right, or whatever, something like that. The whole thing, it feels different.
It feels a lot better.
Yeah.
And that, to me, though, is still the remaining big piece for Farhan is can he get that done? Because this other thing, the core that he said that he would develop, you're right. It's developing, but can he land the big fish?
You're starting to see it. You know what I mean? Like, how long ago was this the case? I think I can tell you right now today who their opening day starting infield is next year.
It's been a long time.
How about that?
Who's their starting left fielder, though? Because that always is the annual question.
It's probably Mitch Haniger, which this year it wasn't because he wasn't ready.
There you
go.
go.
It's going to be yet another. But the infield is probably going to be Wade, Tyro, Schmidt, and Davis next year, and Bailey behind the plate. And Logan on the mound. I'm going to tell you opening day infield. Sure, 1,000 things could happen. But I think there's a decent chance we can already say that.
And the fact that they're all, young players and on the come. I know Lamont Wade Jr. wasn't drafted by them, but all feeling like they were homegrown.
Yeah. Tyro and Lamont are like homegrown extended.
Exactly.
Extended family.
Right.
They're like, aunts and uncles married somebody who you like.
That's a good call.
All right.